Welcome to English for You. I'm Nicole.
I'm Shiklin.
And we're on to the second day of this story. So yesterday we learned about a woman and her husband John. So they moved to this house for a few months because the woman thinks she is sick. But the husband doesn't seem to think that she's sick, but she's also getting treatments to make her better. She's not allowed to do anything like writing or any work, but she is secretly writing this diary, which is the story we're reading.
But what I think is so good about the story is that her husband actually takes her on trips. I've never been on a trip for a long time. Okay, so we're going to find out more about what's going to happen and to find out if the house is actually haunted.
Oh, yeah.
Reading. The yellow wallpaper.
Personally, I think that some gentle work would do me good, which is why I write things such as this. But John thinks that the worst thing I can do is talk about my condition. He says all I need to do is think positively. So, I should talk about the house instead. While I do love the house, I can't say the same for our bedroom. I desired a downstairs room, but John doesn't much care about what I want. He is only concerned with what I need. The downstairs rooms only have one window, so he puts us in a huge room at the top of the house. The room has the worst, most ugly, peeling wallpaper. It's yellow, with terrible patterns that don't align. One part really irritates me, a spot where the pattern looks like a broken neck with two bulging eyes casting helpless stares at you. The wallpaper seems to have some kind of underlying pattern too. It's a different shade of yellow, so you can only see it in certain lights. But in this pattern, I can see a strange sort of figure. A woman, I think.
The second day of our story starts. Personally, I think that some gentle work would do me good, which is why I write things such as this. So if something does a person good, it makes you feel better or that it's good for you. So even though she's not supposed to, she writes in her diary because it does her good. So for example, we can say, going for a walk every day is good for you. Yeah? And we can turn that into going for a walk every day does you good.
To do someone good 就是对某人有好处，蛮口语的用法啦。那这个女生又继续讲哦，我个人认为她想工作，她觉得一些温和的工作对她来说是好的。那温和，老师刚刚有讲这个字是 gentle， 这边是指温和的意思。那她就是为什么想要写这个日记？因为她代表她有一些事情做嘛。
I try and go for a walk every day.
That's good.
Yeah, I think it does me good. I want to get, fresh air, even though I'm in the city, so it's not super fresh, but
Do you live near in the nature? I mean, in a city, but do you live like near a riverbank?
I live near a park.
Oh, that's good.
So sometimes I'll go, but it's kind of one of those small parks, so it's better for sitting.
Okay.
So maybe I should bring my diary and go sit in the park and write my diary.
Nice.
But what does her husband think about this? The woman continues. But John thinks that the worst thing I can do is talk about my condition.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't want her talking about what she thinks is wrong with her.
好，所以这个女孩子的老公呢，认为谈论她的病情是她最不应该做的事情。Maybe he just doesn't want her to keep thinking about what's actually wrong with her.
The story continues. He says, all I need to do is think positively.
I agree on that, because thinking positively is always a good thing.
Definitely.
那我们这边有看到今天的文法，我们先看一下今天的 language in focus. 我们今天看到的 language and focus 是要讲 all that， 然后 someone has to or needs to do blah 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 的用法。那我们来看一下，它指的就是必须或需要做的事情只有什么。所以比如说 all you need to do is to complete this project。那有一些人是可以省略掉 to 的，所以你也可以说 all you need to do is complete this project。那这个东西呢 all that 它的意思其实很像复合关系代名词 what， 所以我们也可以改成 what， 也是代表必须需要做的事情是什么。所以我们把上面的句子改写就会变成 What you need to do is to complete this project。那 to 也是可以省略不省略都 OK 哦。
All I need to do or all you need to do is a great phrase. It means to solve a problem, you just need to do one thing or everything you need to do is just that. So if you want to pass the test, all you need to do is study. So here the husband is telling her to think positively, think good things. And like we were saying, I think thinking positively is really important. I think if you think negatively, which is the opposite of positive, if you're thinking negatively, I think more bad things happen to you.
That's true, because I really do believe in law of attraction. It really works.
Yeah, so do I. So if you're thinking bad things, you're too focused on the bad things
Right.
and all you see are the negative things. But if you're thinking positively, then you're seeing all the good things.
True.
Like what my mom used to say to me. She used to say, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
That is so true. And also there's a phrase that I'm so a big fan of. It says, believe you can before you can get there, something like that. And
yes.
you're halfway there. I mean, believe you
Yes.
can, you're halfway there.
Yes. Very, very important. The power of positive thinking. So how does the woman think more positively? The diary tells us. So I should talk about the house instead.
Okay, 所以这个女孩子她就说好吧，那我就来想想房子好了。So what's about the house? We'll find out.
The woman says, while I do love the house, I can't say the same for our bedroom.
OK， 所以还有讲哦 ，while 这个就是虽然或然而那种感觉啊，我很爱这个房子，但是 I can't say the same。这个 the same 是同样的，不是说一样的哦，不是。它的意思是说，但是我没有很喜欢我们的卧室。What's wrong with the bedroom?
So she can't say that she likes the bedroom. So it means she doesn't like the bedroom. Oh, the article tells us, I desired a downstairs room.But John doesn't much care about what I want. Oh.
好，这边有看到一个 desire, and that's the first word for today.
Desire. This is another word for want, but it's more dramatic and a stronger feeling than just wanting something. So for example, we can say, I strongly desired to become a doctor, so I studied hard in school.We can use desire as a verb like this, and we can also use it as a noun. You can have a desire. So I had a strong desire to eat cake for breakfast.
Desire 就是想要或渴望，所以想要去做什么事情，你可以后面加一个 to be。比如说 Monica desires to win the lottery， 代表 Monica 很想要赢乐透。那 desire 在我们的文章里面是动作，当一个名词也是可以哦，也是有渴望的意思。所以我们通常会说 to have a strong desire for something or to do something。比如说 Kenny's manager has a strong desire for power， 代表 Kenny 的经理呢是非常渴望权力的，所以女孩子就说了哈，我很想要一间楼下的房间，不过约翰总是不太关心我想要的是什么。
I also have a strong desire to win the lottery.
Law of attraction.
Yes, manifesting. That's another good word. I manifest a lottery win. But we don't always need the things that we desire. The next line says, he is only concerned with what I need.So the husband doesn't care about what the wife desires, only what he thinks she needs. So that seems a little bit controlling.
OK，所以呢，他就是觉得我想要的东西你都不理我，也不关心我，但是你只关心我需要什么，但是你觉得 But what you think I need doesn't really mean I need it, you know? 所以继续呢 what is going to happen?
The next line says, the downstairs rooms only have one window, so he puts us in a huge room at the top of the house.
所以楼下的房间，我们从这个日记知道说只有一个窗户，所以老公呢就把他们的卧室安排在房子顶层的一个大房间里面。A big room, that's good.
Yeah, that does seem good. But she wanted a room downstairs, but those rooms didn't have enough windows. And if you read the full story, part of her treatment involves getting lots of air. So a room with one window doesn't get enough air, fresh air, so her husband thinks that she needs a room with lots of windows.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. She continues to describe the room. The room has the worst, most ugly, peeling wallpaper. Okay, well now we see why she wanted the downstairs room.
Yeah.
Peel here means to take something off, like take a layer off. Like we can peel fruit, we peel bananas and peel apples. That means we take off the outer layer. In the story, the wallpaper is peeling. That is the opposite of what you want wallpaper to do. We want it to stay on the wall.
Yeah.
So here she's using it as an adjective to describe the wallpaper. Another example of this could be, the paint on my nails is chipped and peeling.
I hate that.
Yeah.
所以这个 peel 就是有剥落、脱落，是动词，不过它这边当形容词用，代表正在脱落。但是我们这边呢也可以说 peel, it can also be used as a noun. You can say banana peel, 代表就是香蕉的皮哦。所以他就说，可是楼上这间房间哦，里面有最差、最丑，而且正在剥落的壁纸。
The narrator continues to describe the wallpaper. She says, it's yellow with terrible patterns that don't align. Oh gosh.
Okay.
So things that align, they match up. So things align, it match up, they go together. The pattern on the wallpaper doesn't align, so it looks off or like it's broken. That would annoy me so much.
I know, right? 所以这个 align 就是对齐或使什么成一条直线。然后他继续讲了这个壁纸的样子哦，他说它是黄色的，而且还带有不对齐的可怕图案哦。
The story goes on. One part really irritates me.A spot where the pattern looks like a broken neck with two bulging eyes casting helpless stares at you. Oof, now that was a
She
sentence.
has a really good imagination, I have to say.
She does. So let's go through some of the words in that sentence. First we had irritate. So that's another word for annoying. So that irritates me, that annoys me. Then we had bulging. Ooh, that means something is sticking out or poking out. So the eyes are bulging out of the face. They look like they're coming out of the face. Ugh, yuck.
Right, 所以 bulging 就是鼓起或凸起的。那么这个字 irritate， 它在这边是指使谁感到烦躁或不耐烦哦。那另外有两个变化型，你们也注意一下 irritated and irritating 这两个字，一个是感到厌烦的，感到被刺激到，感到恼怒的；另外一个是令人感到恼怒，是不一样的哦。
Then we had the word cast. So to cast a look is to look at someone or something in a particular way. So for example, my friend cast a sad look at me and I could tell she was upset.
So 这个 cast 就是投以什么什么目光，那它的三态全部同形 cast。所以我们有个很好用的片语叫做 to cast light on something， 代表使什么更让人家理解。所以比如说 Does my information cast light on the problem？ 我的资讯有没有让问题变得更好理解呢？又或者是快速看看什么东西，我们也会用这一个字 to cast one's eye 或 an eye over something。比如说 Could you cast an eye over the contract for me？ 你可以帮我快速看一下合约吗？
And then we also had the word stare. This means looking at something and not looking away from it. So the teacher asked a question, but the students looked at him with a blank stare.
What are you talking about?
Just completely not really listening or not understanding, just blank stare.
Right. 所以呢，这个 stare 这个字是我们下一个字，我们来看一下咯。Stare 是凝视、注视的意思，所以 to stare at something 就是凝视什么。那 stare 也可以当名词使用哦。比如说 He remained silent and gave me a stare. 他保持沉默，瞪了我一眼。所以这个女孩子呢，她就说哇，这个房间有一个地方让我真的很恼怒，有一个地方一个图案看起来像是断掉的脖子，两只 bulging eyes 凸出来的眼睛，然后很这样就无助盯着你的感觉。
Let's go back to our article. It continues. The wallpaper seems to have some kind of underlying pattern too. So let's decode the word underlying. It's actually two words, under and lying. So under we know means beneath something and lying like lying down. So underlying, though it looks like a long word, it really just means something behind something else or something under something else. For example, I put an underlying sheet of paper down when I am painting to protect the table.
所以 underlying 就是有下层的、底层的意思，那么它也可以有潜在的意思。比如说 She wasn't sure what his underlying motives were. 她不知道他的潜在动机是什么。这边的 motive 指的是动机的意思。
The diary then talks more about the pattern in the wallpaper. It says, it's a different shade of yellow, so you can only see it in certain lights.
Okay.
This mysterious underlying pattern, a different color or a different shade of yellow.
所以呢，这个 shade 指的是色度或色彩的浓淡。所以呢，这些 underlying patterns 它是不同的黄色阴影，因为你只能在特定的光线下看到它哦。
What does the woman see in this pattern? She says, but in this pattern, I can see a strange sort of figure. A woman, I think.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. So figure can have two meanings. It can mean a number or it can mean a shape that looks like a human body. Which meaning do you think is being used here?
I think it's a human.
Yes, so a little bit spooky, a little bit creepy. Another example of figure can be, the room was very dark and I could barely see a figure standing in the doorway.
好 so figure like Nicole said 可以当人影啊、画像、肖像也可以，那当数字也可以。我们常常说公众人物，英文就是 public figure。那如果是一位数的话，就是 be in single figures， 双位数就是 double figures。所以比如说这个工程师的薪水有6位数的话，英文就是 the engineer earns a 6-figure salary。但是在这个图案中呢，这个女孩子可以看到一个很奇怪的现象，她可以看到一个女人哦。So I think the house is haunted, pretty much.
There's something happening with that wallpaper for sure. But now let's go to our For You chat question for the day.
For You chat.
So our chat question for today is, do you think it's good to talk about your problems, or do you prefer to keep them secret? Explain your answer. What do you think?
I usually keep them secret actually, but I think it's really good to talk about your problems with someone that you really trust. But I think it depends on the way how you deliver the message. Because some people sound like they're actually complaining, but if you're sharing, I think that's better. What about you? What do you think?
I think it's important to talk about our problems.
True.
I think if we keep them inside or don't talk about them, I think they get worse and worse. And there's another really good saying, a problem shared is a problem halved.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's good to keep in mind.
OK， 对，大概大家就是有一些困难的时候，可以尽量的讲出来哦。
But like you said, it's really important to talk to someone that you trust. I think if you're talking to someone that you don't trust, it's not good because they might talk about your problems with other people and then they're talking about you behind your back and that's just a horrible situation.
Yeah. 好，那就是我们今天所有的文章 and we are going to be back, right?
Yes, we have one more day with this story.
那我们就明天见喽。
Bye-bye.
vocabulary review. Desire. Laura has been desiring pizza all week, so she finally ordered one today. Peel. We really need to paint this room because the old paint is peeling off the walls. Cast. Jeff cast a look at Sarah that told her he was angry about something. Stare. Tony's mother gave him an angry stare when she found out he didn't finish his homework on time. Underlying. Underlying. To make the room more comfortable, Joseph laid a carpet over the underlying wood floor. Figure. While hiking up the mountain, I saw the figures of two strange people. They were standing and watching me from a distance.
智慧小补帖
Align. Irritate. Bulging. Shade.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net